What's your
Good morning,
question?
everybody. My name is Halima Tahiru, and we are Miss Akali women. Our group question was to expand elaborately on the history and nature of formal contracts, which are contracts made on us.
Okay. Who are your
So,
group members?
our group of we're just three here.
Just three. Okay. If you are ready. Are you ready?
We're ready.
Okay, start.
Okay. In order to answer this question, we posed some other questions to us, and the questions are: how far had formal contracts evolved during the Middle Ages? What were its principal rules or remedies? And it is important to know the history of formal contracts so as to know how it has evolved over time and significant changes that have happened which have direct influence on today's world. English common law dealt with contractual problems primarily through two actions, which is writ of covenant and writ of debt. Writ of covenant is what is known nowadays as formal contract or contract made by deed. The word covenant meant an agreement to undertaking to do or pay in the future. A writ of covenant must be in writing and should be signed, sealed, and delivered. A breach of covenant required production of proof of an agreement from seal. For more than 2 centuries and more, formal contracts have been the only vehicle for enforcing executory contracts, which have given unliquidated damages, and yet, when its claim is evaluated, it will be found that it has contributed very much to the law of contracts. So, furthermore, we defined a contract, and we talk about the classification of contract before going into the history of formal contract. So, a contract has been defined as a promise or set of promises that the law will enforce in Sage's law of contracts. And Toby JCA, in the case of Orient Bank Nigeria versus Bilante International, defined contract as an agreement between two or more parties which create reciprocal obligations to do or not to do particular things. A contract may consist of simple promise by one person to another, or mutual promises by two persons to one another, or there may be indeed any number of persons or any number of promises. One person may make several promises to one person or to several persons, or several persons may join in making a simple promise to one or more persons. Classification of contract. Contract has been classified into different categories based on formation, performance, and execution. Different classifications are formal and simple contracts, express and implied contracts, quasi contracts, unilateral and bilateral contracts, executed and executory contracts, and void and voidable contracts.
Okay, so now we're going to the history and overview of formal contracts. So formal contracts are those in which the binding force or the effect of the obligation depends upon the transaction being given a certain form, as distinguished from having substantial attributes. And you have promises under seal, recognizances, negotiable instruments. Then formal contracts have evolved over time, and its principal rules and remedies have changed as well. Contracts under seal must be in writing and is supposed to be executed and given legal effect by the signing, sealing, and delivering of it by the party executing to the other party. However, there have been significant changes in the law and practice regarding deeds. Signature was not regarded as being necessary before. Execution was valid, provided the seal of the party executing a deed was imprinted on the deed. However, by the English Law of Property Act 1925, Section 73, and various laws in Nigeria, like Section 97 of the Property and Conveyancing Law, 1959 of the Western Region, and Section 108, Subsection 2 of the Registered Land Act 1965, which said a person executing a deed must either sign or make his mark in addition to sealing to the deed valid. Thus, with the seal now having a merely symbolic value, the signature has become the vital component of the deed. which gives it authenticity and validity. Also, previously, delivery was only effective if the deed was actually handed over by the party executing to the other party. But since 1867, by the House of the Lords decision in the case of Xenox versus Pickham, a deed may be delivered even though retained in the custody of the grantor. Any act or word showing that it is intended to be executed by the grantor as his deed binding him will suffice. Thank you.